Thank you for the great ideas that you gave us, and thank you for your leadership of the Department of Energy. May I suggest that one of the biggest challenges are our cars. And our cars, if we were to move from gas and diesel to an electric or an electric hybrid, we could save significant energy, carbon, contribute to many of the issues that you raised. The missing link is a new way to store electricity. A battery, a supercondenser, a device that you could charge in 10 minutes to go 200 miles. And why not give us some priority, like the Apollo project or the Manhattan project, the laboratories you referred to had priority because we were in a war. We're in a war now against foreign oil. And if we were to motivate our people to develop the best scientists, the best engineers, as you suggest, to develop a new way to store electricity, you could revolutionize how we drive our cars, and then on top of that, you could improve the electrification of the United States, so while we're all sitting here, we're charging our cars in the parking lot.
I agree with you. We've invested, there are two issues. One's advanced battery manufacturing of current technologies, so we invested $2.4 billion in that. But we're also investing heavily in battery R&D, because the batteries we have today aren't good enough. Before I took this job, I had a few other jobs besides being director of the lab, and one of the things was I was on a scientific board of a battery company, so I know a little bit about this, and there's some wonderful ideas out there that could become commercialized and get into the market within a few years. Things where it could last 5,000, 10,000 deep discharges, where you could double or quadruple the energy density, and it's also got to be inexpensive. It's got to be safe. So we want to push as hard as we can. Here's another technology. If you get the smartest people working on this, can really revolutionize things. And I know of a couple of very smart people. One of the things we're thinking of is one of the hubs could be a battery hub. But we think probably not, because we have this new program, RPE, and we might let hundreds of flowers bloom on this one when you have the right idea. But I think I agree. I mean, the electrification of personal vehicles plus biofuels that make much more sense in terms of its carbon cycle, and agricultural waste, and we can, and higher efficiency cars, instead of 25 miles a gallon, 45 miles a gallon. That's more than our oil dependency. Gone. Okay, so this is really, this can be done. And not over half a century. It can be done in 15 years. The cycle time of the fleet. Now, the president has moved up the EPA standard from 2020 to 2016, but hopefully we're also trying to develop technologies that can make the cars even more efficient. Let me just say as a plug, we should also do something about the 6,000-pound cars, especially ones used in a city. And if people really want to own them, fine, then own them, but then put a yearly excise tax on them that discourages their use. Okay. They're actually deadly. If you're a little safer, you're 3% safer, you can go and look in the actuarial tables of the automobile companies take. They're 3% safer if you get in a collision with a lighter car, an average-sized car. They're 4.5 times more deadly, 4.5 times more likely you will kill someone driving those big guys. To make yourself 3% safer, but if all the cars were 3,000, 4,000 pounds, 2,500 pounds, then you don't, so we've got an arms race with cars. Okay, so anyway. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, anyway, I agree with you, and it is one of the things we're focusing on.
Dr. Chu, thanks for being here today. I had a chance to read the Rolling Stone article about you. I just want to say one thing. How tense is it to be kind of having all of this weight put on your shoulders about being the savior of the planet?
I don't know. I think that's more for the president, but it doesn't feel bad at all. I took this job because I thought I could make a difference. I recruited a number of really stellar people, and they feel as passionately as I do. And never has there been ever a time where the stars are aligned, where you have a president, you have a cabinet, you have people coming back into government service at great personal sacrifice. But it's not really personal sacrifice, because what an opportunity to help change the destiny of the world. So it's a great feeling.
Can ask the last question.
Steve, on behalf of all of us, thank you so much for joining and inspiring us today. But I would be remiss if I didn't pose one final question. What can research universities like the University of Rochester do to help you in this?
Well, oops, sorry. That's me when I was 40 or 39. I too was young. I think if you look at this list of things, universities are great trainers of students to raise the awareness in all students, whether they're humanists and poets, scientists or engineers, to encourage them to, instead of just reading the news clips and the sound bites and hearing the sound bites, to actually use your intellect and try to understand the problem and look at real data. I think many students all around the country and around the world are beginning to see that this is a worldwide crisis emergency, and I see a lot of idealism among the students that says, I can make a difference. That idealism I saw in the 60s and 70s during another time, and I see it becoming again. I mean, there was a decade or two where people wanted mostly to make money, which is okay. You can make money and get filthy rich doing this stuff, but, and the old Chinese expression to that is mazel tov. But in any case, and research universities can think about organizing scientists across most of these problems, and the most creative and most impactful problems that can be gotten out there most quickly are hybrid solutions, where you mix and match different technologies, bring them together, which means that you mix and match different expertise and bring them together.
Steve Chu. Thank you so much. That was fabulous.